Well done, guys. I mean, he was a game changer in many respects, wasn't he, for Windsor Park? A horse like Might and Power to do what he did.
Oh, he's an exceptional horse, and even today I still bring up that Caulfield Cup just to make myself feel good in the mornings. But no, he was huge for the farm, and he's just such a great galloper.
Tell us about Benediction. How did that come about? Because she was a mare that evidently was bought out of the UK.
Yeah, Dad bought her at the December sales, and obviously got sent to Zabeel that year and produced what wasn't a fantastic colt, but he was good enough to take to Sydney, and bit disappointing at the result. I think it was 38,000 passed in, and Anthony Cummings bought him, and subsequently got it taken off him to go to obviously to Jack and Alan Denham, which was a bit sad for him, but obviously they did a great job with him.
What did the Windsor Park decide to go to Zabeel for? Because at the start, Zabeel had only just started out, hadn't he, really?
At that time, to be fair, Steve would like to say it was a perfect mating, but really the guts of it, and Dad will tell you, he said, both Zabeel was probably at a stage where, he'd had a couple of crops and she needed to do something, and we had a share in him, so it probably wasn't the master of mating, but it was good on type, and produced a very good horse.
Whereabouts were you in all this when Might and Power was doing the business, winning those sorts of races? I mean, was it a case of you had to be there, Nelson had to be there as well, Sue had to be there as well?
And I was on the farm, so I was usually watching it on TV at home, but look, he gave everyone so much thrill on the farm, and when you get to breed a horse like that, it just helps the team and it helps everything, so if we ever get a chance to breed another one like that, it would be fantastic.
Well, Sir Patrick Hogan gave him the greatest compliment. He actually said that of Zabeel's runners, Might and Power was the best, and he's had so many, as we all know. And Jimmy Cassidy on the stage 2 years ago, Rodney and Sue, he said exactly the same thing. He said, I've ridden some great horses. I've ridden Hall of Famers like Rough Habit, and I've ridden Kiwi to win my first Melbourne Cup. But when it came to a stayer who was so fast at the start and so fast at the finish, he said there was none better than Might and Power. And I think that's what the feeling we all got.
Look, he's one that you could see by today, he could just break their hearts. And Doremus used to push him in a couple of races there. Doremus, the mighty little fella, he tried very hard, but he was an amazing horse. He was rated the highest rated stayer in the world at one stage, and it's very hard to get those POMs to rate us highly. So that was a huge achievement for him to do that and be recognised by the Northern Hemisphere. And
anything your dad can do, you can do just as good, because you bought into the family, didn't you?
But it was it.
You bought into the family, didn't you?
Yeah. No, it's, well, hopefully I can. With the mare. So I bought the Opera House, which has been a bit of fun. She's got a bit to live up to yet, but she's certainly been good for the wallet.
Yeah, well, she's been good for the way she looks.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a novelty factor, but we've been trying to buy back into the family for a while, and she was. Bought her at Magic Millions. Michael Wallace bought her for me, and she's produced us a few of these white foals, and they've sold really well. So hopefully they can go on and have the ability he had.
Have you seen Might and Power Sue at all since the retirement? He's in that Legends property in Melbourne. Have you had a chance to see him?
No, but Roddy did. But I'm planning to do it this year. I've decided it's time I went to have a look at him. But I think for me, when I went to Ireland and met Michael Keogh, who we bought Benediction off, to see there on the other side of the world, a man getting huge excitement out of this horse. And in fact, I saw a couple of races, had to get up in the middle of the night to watch him race a couple of times. And but I went to Michael's place where Benediction was, and to see all his staff, and they were getting a huge thrill out of it, as our staff did, and watching the races with all the members of our of the stud, and the huge pleasure they got out of it, to watch this wonderful horse. So, no, it's been great. It really was a great journey.
And he looks great now, doesn't he? You've seen him at the Legions. He looks great.
Yeah, well, I took Gina, my wife, there 2 years ago to see him, and it was actually quite funny. It was neat to see him. He looked fantastic, but they tell me he's a great part of a great character there, and everyone loves him. So he's been really well looked after, and he's gets to go around the race meetings and go to the Melbourne Cup and things. So he's still having a good time.
One of the heroes, ladies and gentlemen, of the Australasian turf, without question, Might and Power.